Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Saturday, May 27, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link to our Patreon in the description and comment section below. Boston Celtics vs Miami Heat. The Boston Celtics are hoping to become the first ever NBA team to come back from a 3-0 deficit in a best-of-7 series. Game 6 will be the toughest win to get, as they must head back to Miami before potentially hosting Game 7 at home. In Game 5, the Celtics led by as many as 24 and never trailed in the game. Boston shot 50.6% from the floor and had 4 scorers reach 20-plus points. Boston is playing with a sense of desperation, as they will be sent home with one more loss. Head coach Joe Mazzulla talked about his team's mindset, saying, "It just says that our backs are against the wall, and we're sticking together, and we're competing at a high level to give ourselves a chance." Derek White reclaimed his starting spot and led the team with 24 points in Game 5. Marcus Smart had 23 points, knocked down 4 threes, and had 5 steals on the defensive end. The All-NBA wings, Tatum and Brown, each did their part, as Tatum had 21 points, 11 rebounds and 8 assists, while Jaylen Brown also added 21 points. No other Boston player scored more than 6 points, but they did not need it, as the Boston perimeter players powered their team to an easy home win in Game 5. Malcolm Brogdon is battling an elbow injury and only played 8 minutes in Game 5. He is likely to play in Game 6, but may not be at full strength. The Celtics had the second most efficient offense in the league in the regular season and were third in defensive efficiency according to dunksandthrees.com. The Celtics must travel to Miami, where they split Games 3 and 4 with the Heat. We are betting on history repeating itself here. There have been 150 instances where a team led 3-0 in a 7-game series in the NBA, and all 150 teams went on to win the series. If Miami is going to win this series, Game 6 at home is their best bet. Miami is getting points here and continues to be disrespected by the books and the public. Miami won the first 3 games of this series, and it was not a fluke or due to injuries for many of the Boston players. Boston played at full strength and lost 3 straight to this Miami team. Jimmy Butler did not score over 20 in back-to-back games, and the leader of the Heat will not stay quiet for long, as I expect a big game from Butler in Game 6. Miami's outside shooters will start knocking down shots again, and Miami will play much better than their last 2 outings. I like Miami to win here, but taking the points is the best bet. Take Miami plus the points. Our team pick is Miami plus 3 points. Miami has squandered 2 opportunities to close out this series against Boston and do not want to play Game 7 on the road. The Heat were done in by their poor perimeter shooting for the past 2 games. They made under 10 threes in the past 2 games. Boston had 4 players score 20 or more in Game 5, while the Heat did not have any players score over 18. Head coach Erik Spoelstra was not concerned about anything carrying over from the 2 losses, saying, "One game doesn't lead to the next game. It just doesn't matter. It's about collectively preparing and putting together a great game. We'll play much better on Saturday. That's all we just have to focus on right now." Duncan Robinson came off the bench to lead the Heat with 18 points. The Miami Stars were quiet for the 2nd game in a row. Jimmy Butler scored just 14 points, and Bam Adebayo contributed 16. Kyle Lowry started in place of the injured Gabe Vincent, but only scored 5 points in 30 minutes of action. The Celtics never trailed and led by as many as 24 points in Thursday's game. 2 nights earlier, they led by as many as 18 during a 116-99 road win. The stellar play comes after Boston appeared ready to start the offseason after it was whipped 128-102 in Game 3. Suddenly, the pressure is on the Heat. The thought of possibly playing a Game 7 in Boston in a winner-take-all affair isn't appealing. And that makes Saturday's contest feel like a must-win for both teams. Yet Miami star Jimmy Butler is downplaying his team's recent issues. Butler scored a series-low 14 points and has failed to reach 20 in 2 of the past 3 games. Heat coach Erik Spoelstra befuddled Joe Mazzulla over the first 3 games, but it was the first-year Celtics coach pushing all the right buttons over the past 2 games. Boston had 4 20-point scorers in Game 5. Derek White made 6 3-pointers and led the way with 24 points, Marcus Smart scored 23, and Tatum and Brown each scored 21. Caleb Martin added 14 points off the bench, and reserve Haywood Highsmith saw his first meaningful action in the playoffs, scoring 15 points off the bench. Gabe Vincent is still battling an ankle injury. He did not play in Game 5 and is questionable for Game 6. The Heat ranked 25th in offensive efficiency and 8th in defensive efficiency throughout the regular season. Miami has only lost one game at home in the playoffs, with a loss coming in Game 4 of this series. This is the lowest total of the series so far. Every game Miami has won has gone over the total, and every game Boston has won has gone under. Miami will play much better in this pivotal Game 6 at home, and in doing so will send this game over the total. Boston is going to put up numbers. They have too many perimeter scoring threats to not do their part for this over. They have scored at least 110 in their last 2 games. Miami has been sub 100 for 2 straight games, but their star players did not play well and will not stay this quiet for long. Expect playoff Jimmy to reappear for the Heat, and as Boston sends help, Butler can find more open threes for his teammates. When Miami plays well it goes over, and that is what will happen here. Take the over.